Section D, we are going to be looking at the Forex sessions, and these are very important because at the beginning of session, we normally witness a lot of volatility and the proper movement of the candlesticks. And when we trade sessions, we can be more profitable into the Forex market. And there is an app which helps you to also figure out, like to also keep track of the sessions. I'm going to give you the link of it from Play Store where you can download it from in this course. So we shall look at timing in Forex, then we'll look at the sessions where we have Frankfurt, London, New York session, then we have Tokyo and Sydney. So we are going to look at these ones and how they can be of profitable to you by trading the currencies that be active during these sessions. About the best time to trade Forex. So, my friend, avoid people or resources that tell you to trade 24 hours a day. So this is not good because there are times in a day when the market is totally dormant, and that's very true. The Forex market operates 24 hours a day, but you don't need to trade it 24 hours a day, because there are some times when the market is completely even not moving, when it's totally dormant, most especially Monday nights when it has even just opened. We know that the session of Asia be active and seeding, but again, it's not that active. So in order to be profitable, you have to know what times the market becomes volatile. So this happens during overlaps, news releases, and central bank governor's speech. So let me briefly explain for you below. So session overlap. During overlaps, there is a lot of volatility that accompanies the session. So we have 5 sessions, which are Frankfurt, London, New York, Tokyo, and Sydney. So now these are the sessions. And now on this table, you're going to put the time, depending on the country that you are in, the start time and the end time, then overlap time. That is where there is too much volatility and the currencies you can trade. Now when you follow this table, it's going to help you so that you can maintain your profit. You can maintain your trading strategy and also be a bit more profitable compared to someone who doesn't know anything about the session and how they do overlapping. When we look at the Frankfurt session, we see that it is actually not commonly viewed. It's not commonly viewed. Let me highlight for you. Commonly viewed on most trading sites. They normally show for that are well known to to everyone. That is the London, New York, Tokyo, and Sydney session. Once you understand the timing of Frankfurt session, you make good profits from it. So the target pairs are normally euro pairs, and it's also a good session which moves smoothly and has a lot of opportunities where you make more pips which are equivalent to the money. So you should also have it in the back of your mind. And the good thing is that most of the apps show it, but most of the books don't talk about this session. So when we look at the London session, we see that it is the largest and most important dealing center in the world. So with a market share of more than 30% according to the BIS survey, most of the dealing desks of large banks are located in London. So the majority of major Forex transactions are completed during London hours due to the market's high liquidity and efficiency. By the way, this is a very good time to trade. Most of the people, if you are around East Africa, you can trade from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. But when you are in other countries, still you can allocate using the application to know when it is more convenient for you. So the vast major number of participants and their high transactions value the London as the most volatile forex market of all time. So these are the target pairs which can move over 100 pips, and remember the pips are the money. So GBP CHF, we have GBP JPY, we have GBP USD, and we also have other pairs of GBP and some of the small European pairs. I told you when you're doing the research, you should get your notebook and keep monitoring as you write your own notes. Sometimes you have to be more creative and do more research. Remember, the more you do research, the more you make it.
And that's why I gave you the other pyramid when we remember the disadvantages of forex traders. Why most people they want everything to be laid for them on a silver plate. But if you are more of a person who's creative to learn more, to analyze more, you make it more further than a person who is not willing to add more knowledge and learn more and ask more questions. So let's talk about the New York session, and it is the second largest forex market, encompassing 19% total of forex market volume turnover. So according to the 2014 New York Central Bank survey of FX exchange, of course, of foreign exchange and derivatives market activity in April 2004, published by the Bank for International Settlement (BIS). It is also the financial center that guards the back door of world's forex markets as trading activity. So usually winds down to a minimum from its afternoon session until the opening of the Tokyo market the next day. So the majority of the transactions during the US sessions are executed between 8 a.m. and noon. But now, depending on the country, it changes. You understand, like I've said. So, a period with high liquidity because European traders are still in the market. So, it overlaps depending on where you are in the country. So, the target currencies to trade, we have all USD pairs are active and some card pairs. And here we also look at the GBP, JPY here. But most of them you see like GBP USD active, USD CHF active, USD sorry, this was a repetition. But you can say USD JPY still it is active, and your USD of course it's a must, and USD card. So you can easily trade these currencies during the New York session.
Let's talk about the Tokyo session, and this is the Asian, of course. So, forex trading in Asia is conducted in major regional financial hubs. So, during the Asian trading session, Tokyo takes the largest market share, followed by Hong Kong and Singapore. So, despite the flagging influence of the Japanese central bank on the forex market, Tokyo remains one of the most important dealing centers in Asia. So it is the first major Asian market to open, and many large participants often use the trade momentum there as the benchmark gauge market. So dynamics as well as devise their trading strategies. So this session is also very profitable because it has a lot of market volatility and participants. So we see that trade is being active, the GBP CHF, and of course all with Japanese yen is active because it's one of the currencies that is in major currencies that we talked about, which can be easily traded due to low spreads. But of course there are others with the Chinese yuan, but these ones are emerging pairs and they carry huge spreads, and also that actually all these currencies that are not going to be maybe traded. If you want, you can trade them, but I told you the bigger the spread, the more it's going to affect you. Remember, they are not also even volatile, and their liquid is also not as much as these ones. So these ones are the best currencies to trade. Even if you focus on USD JPY alone, due to low spread, you can also make it in this session.
So let's look at the Sydney session. So it is in Australia and it isn't as much volatile as others, but it can be traded if you wish to. And in Ugandan time, it happens during 2 a.m. at night. But you can know the time that you trade it in your own time if you use the other table, if you use the app that can track for you the time session. So the target currencies to trade, we can use even odd. I didn't mention it here, but you can trade odd pairs, and also the GBP CHF and the GBP JPY. Of course, other currencies can also seem to be moving, but the ones that you should focus on are these. But I also recommend that you keep monitoring them if you want to trade these sessions, so that you can easily do your own table of currencies that are active, because sometimes and some days some currencies are active and others are not that active. So when we look at the US European overlap from 8 a.m. 12 p.m. Eastern time, so Forex market tends to be most active when the hours of the world's two trading centers overlap. So we are going to see the figure below. So the range of trading between 8 a.m. and noon East time constitutes on average 70% of the total average range of trading for all the currency pairs during the European trading hours, and 80% of the total average range of trading for all the currency pairs during US trading hours. So just these percentages alone tell day traders that if they are really looking for volatile price actions and wide range and cannot sit at the screen all day, the time to trade is the US and European overlap. It's very good time. So you can use the app to measure the time when it happens in your country. So now when we look at it, these are the daily movements that we could make during the overlaps actually. So then these are the currency pairs here below. So we see that during this, the currencies that return a very good amount of money, we can start actually from Euro, USD, then GBP USD, USD CHF, GBP JPY, and the GBP CHF. So this is the European, US European overlap and how really it performs. When we look at the European Asian overlap of 2 a.m. up 4 a.m., we see that the trade intensity in the European Asian overlap is far lower than in any other session because of the slow trading during the Asian time of morning. So there are less traders, and thus it means that there is less liquidity in the market. But though it is also still the profitable session that you can trade. So still we look at the same currencies being active because these currencies are always being traded from the Euro USD, GBP, USD, CHF, GBP, JPY, GBP, CHF. So the Great British Pound is really a big deal in all of these sessions because it tends to be moving many pips, and also during the news releases it moves really good pips for you to be able to make a good amount of money. With a good trading strategy, you can make it trading these sessions.